I grew up in East Germany, as I told, and I lived there for 26 years of my life, and got my education there at the film school in Potsdam-Babelsberg, and that was a very traditional film education, I could say. We learned all the handcraft, what is necessary to make a film, to produce, and of course in these days we had in East Germany one state-driven film studio. Of course these films were totally funded by the socialist state, and of course there was also a little pressure on that, because you could say censorship, because it was not so easy to speak about everything in East Germany. So, but you know, in times of dictatorship, sometimes art can have nice results. As we can see right now, all these wonderful films coming from Iran. Artists in time of dictatorship always try to find a solution to express themselves in between the lines, you know, and the audience get used to that, to read in between the lines as well. So this is so that doesn't mean that I prefer dictatorship, but it's sometimes nice for the art, because sometimes it's more impressive to look for a kind of poetic way to express something. I think sometimes it's nice to know everything before, when you're starting to create a movie, and to be well prepared. But the stupid thing is if you're following your own instructions, and if you don't change anything during the shooting process. And that was a little bit the problem with my first movie. When I did my next cinema production, I started to open it a little bit more for improvisation. You know? Of course, we had a screenplay in these days, but I had the feeling that I should be more open. That film is totally improvised. There was no screenplay at all. We were totally open when we started the process, and that doesn't mean that I'm doing always like that, but sometimes for some stories it can be helpful to work in that style. We start with the improvisation. No one knows what happens. And then maybe a miracle happens. Sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's embarrassing. You never know. Usually when I'm making films, I'm always the director. I have to control the things. I'm behind the camera, and so sometimes I like to make music together with friends, because you have the feeling that you are creating something together. Yeah? And sometimes filmmaking itself can be a little bit like making music. Yeah? You can organize a big concert with a big orchestra, a conductor, and of course you have the partiture, and everything is written, and you have to be well prepared to do that. And then you have 80 people in a big orchestra playing together, and it can be great. But there's another possibility. The jazz quintet, for example. 5 people are coming together, they don't know what to do this evening, and they try to create something together. And that can be also wonderful. There's no conductor necessary. They try to find the right tone. And something fits if it works. And then they come together, and it comes from here, straight from your stomach. I have sometimes the feeling that in many films we have too much music, and too much things which try to overwhelm the audience. Too much noises, too fast edited, too many music which tries to overwhelm the audience. You hear a sad violence, and you have to be sad. Film music can be really wonderful. It's a wonderful thing, but the director should control what he does. In that film, I worked without any film music, and it's sometimes relaxing. It's like a clear, slow river. And you start to hear again Because if you use something in a movie, there has to be a meaning. To me, it seems to be better to take strong decisions. Way of working is like collecting everything. But I have no opinion, I collect. And then later maybe I will get a decision for that. It always depends on the things you want to speak about. And if something is necessary or not, for example, the moving of the camera, depends on the scene. And of course, on the other hand, on the production method you choose.